This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about the next match here. It's a barn burner. I'm curious to see your opinion, though. These guys tore it up all over the independents for the better part of a decade, and now they've got a chance to do it on the big show, a WWE pay-per-view. It's the former Kevin Steen, now Kevin Owens, taking on the former El Generico, now Sami Zayn. They get 14 minutes and 34 seconds of what Meltzer calls a hot match. He gave it 4 stars. Kevin Owens gets the win clean with a super kick and a power bomb. What'd you think? Were you a fan of what these guys were doing, or being maybe a little more old school where you think, oh, they're doing too much?
Well, possibly a little too much, but I am also a guy that recognizes these guys have a history on, like you said, on the indies where they must have worked probably 100 times. And I'm saying only 100 because, you know, they just have guys that are working 300 days a year. And sometimes it's one day a weekend, but they had a rich history. And you run across guys, if you're in the business long enough, certain guys, you have this incredible chemistry that everything you do works and everything you do clicks. And these guys have found that chemistry, and they brought it to NXT, got a lot of fanfare there. And when it got moved to the main, to the big show, they brought it with them there. A lot of the things that they were doing were a little too big, weren't being sold properly, but it was a good match, and the people certainly were in tune to it. That's a smart crowd in Chicago. They're up to speed on everything. They know who everybody is. And, they were all over it. And I try to listen. I watch what's going on in the ring, and I may have a fix here and there, or, hey, I'd change this a little bit, or my own opinion. But the one thing that you cannot deny, I never fuss too much if they're all standing and they're all screaming. And that's really the only barometer that you need to run your own company and run your business. Listen to the people. They'll tell you what's working and what ain't.
Well, they loved it here. Let's talk about some other news and notes as we head in here. We mentioned this briefly when we covered WrestleMania 32. Miz would beat Zack Ryder just one day after his big WrestleMania Intercontinental title win. Why do you think the WWE seemingly struggles to get baby faces over? Is it just fundamentally the folks who are making the decisions they just love heat? I don't understand. It feels like Zack Ryder had such a feel good moment. Why not stretch it out a little bit and give it some legs? But as you like to say, we cut his water off 24 hours later.
Because he kind of did it on his own. I don't think he was the original guy that was supposed to win that match. But, he went out and he got over. He did the social media stuff like was instructed. He reached for the brass ring. He looked like $1 million. He was always there working his ass off. And the guy was a good worker. And, on that platform to win a big match at WrestleMania, almost everybody in that locker room was pulling for him. And he should have, like we've talked about before, he should have at least had a month run. Give a guy at least a month of good TVs. 4 good TVs, that's a lot of good TV these days.
It is.
And he never got a chance. It looked like a fluke. It looked like it should have never happened. And it put him right back in the position that he was in before he won.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.